Hey guys, and welcome to another one of my videos. It's been a little rainy lately today, so today I decided to make a video about doing Rogue from X-Men. Here are 4 references that I chose from, I found on Pinterest, that I decided to kind of look at and see if I could draw something similar to. So this initially started as a collab with a bunch of other artists, and I heard other people were drawing Storm, so I was like, okay, I want to draw someone different than Storm because I'm sure everyone's going to be drawing Storm and Magneto and all the main other characters, so I decided to draw Rogue. I'm not a huge X-Men junkie, to be honest with you guys. I've watched maybe a few of the movies. I'm just not hugely into it. I'm sorry if you guys are fans. It's not that I wouldn't be a fan of it if I actually had the time to really get into it. It was just not something I super got into. Some of the movies were interesting, and I liked some of the Wolverine movies, but aside from the movies that I saw, I'm primarily more into the Marvel stuff than I am of just X-Men specifically. So I also just took this on as a challenge of hey, I don't really know that much. I didn't really know that much about Rogue, honestly. I read up a little bit more about her because I don't know as much about her. But hey, I thought she'd be a really cool character to just try and attempt, and she had a really cool backstory, honestly, and I thought, awesome, let's do it. So, as you can see in this sketch, I wanted to draw her in a pose that I created, that I was thinking up in my head. Even though I had the other references, I didn't really do their poses. I did my own pose, and I kind of struggled with it, I think, because of that. You know, the legs looked a little off. I kept struggling with the arm a little bit, and I really, really wanted to get better at my anatomy. I think this little challenge kind of helped me think outside the box because I wanted it to really look like it was a comic book type thing. It came out of a comic book. A lot of the other artists, which I will show at the very end, y'all will see some amazing art done by some of the artists of this collab, and they had kind of a similar idea where it was comic book style. And so because I really wanted that comic book look, I wanted her to kind of come out of the page as if it were a frame and she was just coming out. I'm going to say with this piece, I think the thing that really helped me was the canvas flipping, which I always highly recommend if you're drawing a picture. It will help you see what looks good, what doesn't look good with the picture. The canvas flipping, it really is essential when you're drawing. But even with the canvas flipping, I gotta be honest, I still sort of struggled with it. I still went with it, even though I don't know that the anatomy looked the best. I think her hair was poofier than the rest of her body, made her head look huge. But other than that, I was actually was pretty happy with this piece. I think, again, I could have done a little bit better. I'm learning some things, and so I think that there are things that I can still improve upon, especially when it comes to anatomy and how something physically looks and works out as a whole in the painting, so it doesn't look kind of wonky. But again, experimenting, trying new things. As an artist, I feel like I draw a lot of the same pictures of the torso up, and I wanted to get better drawing other things. So I understand, one of you guys commented, I saw in my last video, hey, her leg looks kind of off. I kind of know that, and I'm sorry. I tried to fix it, and it frustrated me. And I hope that I fixed it enough to where it looked okay. But I know it looks stupid, and I'm sorry, but I got to a point where it's I just didn't really want to fix it anymore. Whatever, I didn't care. I'm just going to go with it, continue with it, whatever, it's fine. But after I finished the drawing, I noticed her head was massive. So again, I resized her head, and I was like, oh no, I need to really try to make her look a little bit more proportionate. So I have this brush. I think it helps with comics and stuff because I thought at one time I was going to do a comic, which I hopefully in the future, when I have extra time, I will be drawing my own comics because I love anime and I love manga, and I really want to draw my own stories. I attempted it once, and I wasn't as good of an artist back then as I am now. At least I think so. You could say otherwise, be like, Lauren, you suck and you're awful, but whatever, I think I'm better. But I got these manga comic book paint brushes, I guess you would say, for Procreate, and I think that they really do wonders with helping you put more into a frame, and so this one has like the lines coming out at her, which kind of makes it look more comic booky. So the brushes that I used are called Mango Studio. I have part 1 and part 2. I'm assuming when I purchased it on Etsy, I purchased it as one whole thing, but it was so many brushes that they put it into 2 separate categories, and I guess it's just extra effects. So if y'all are wondering where this effect comes from, that's where it's from, is from that Mango Studio. I think it makes it really pop and makes it look really cool if you're trying to draw comics. I highly recommend you getting some sort of manga or comic book helper. I think it will go a long way, and you're not having to draw as much either. I think when it comes to manga, having extra brushes to draw extra things for you or stamps is super helpful, because then you're going to end up drawing so much per each frame. And so I thought of this and I'm like, man, if I really want to do manga or any sort of comic books, I need to have stuff like this on hand. If there was one thing that I really disliked about this photo, looking at after a few weeks after drawing it, is her nose. I wish I added a little more detail to her nose. It's just a bunch of little lines, and I kind of wish I'd changed that a little bit, but it is what it is. It's okay. I mean, it turned out good in the end, I think, for what I drew and for the time that I drew it in. Also, with this collab, I felt, again, the collab went for a long time, but then I felt a little rushed towards the end because I didn't do it in a fast manner. So I kind of took my time with it and then did everything last minute. So that's partly why I kind of rushed this piece a little bit. I did want to add that I did add the little polka dots, and I think the polka dots kind of added to the, again, that comic book look. So if you're going for a comic book, I highly recommend you get the polka dot brushes as well. I think they'll help you out when it comes to drawing comics. But being rushed is certainly my fault. I mean, I had a whole month to do it and I just didn't do it. So there we go. I made her suit look a little bit shiny, and I think, honestly, I liked how it turned out overall. I didn't really care for the nose. But other than that, I feel like this piece is pretty freaking awesome. And here you'll see, here in a few minutes, you'll see all the amazing drawings that the other artists did. They did such great work. We all did an amazing collab. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. I'll be drawing more videos like this here in the future. If you like seeing this kind of stuff, it's just my own progress and me getting better. And if y'all like to watch my progress and watch as I develop as an artist and you want to create with me, hey, subscribe and check out my other videos. And guys, always keep creating. I always say that because it's more important. Don't give up and just keep doing it. And guys, we'll get better together.